So you're thinking about moving to Palm Coast, Florida, but you're not quite sure where everything's located. Where's the airport? Where do I go shopping? How close is the nearest grocery store? Where's Orlando? Where's Daytona? Where's Jacksonville? Where's the best neighborhood? Well, in this video, we are going to answer those exact questions. We're actually going to open up our Google Maps, and I'm going to take you through a Google Map tour, almost like a walking tour of Palm Coast. So that way you can get a feel for what's going on here. So that way you've got a little bit better idea of what's happening, where things are located. So when you do decide to come in and visit Palm Coast, you're already going to have a great familiarity of where things are located. So you can really focus on, what neighborhoods do I want to be in? What houses do I want to go see? So stick with us to the end. We want to make sure that you know everywhere where you need to go and where everything's located here in Palm Coast, Florida. If you want to know everything there is to know about living in and around the Palm Coast area, then click on subscribe, tap that bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know of all the changing market conditions here in Palm Coast. Hi, my name's Chris Snow with the Florida Coastal Team, and my team and I, we get calls, texts, and emails every day from folks just like you who are looking for help making the move to Palm Coast, Florida, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking at making a move in the next few days, the next few weeks, the next few months, give us a call, send us a text, send us an email. You can actually book a private Zoom call. All of our contact information is right at the bottom of the screen, and we'll help you make that smooth move here to Palm Coast, Florida. As we stated in the opening, we're going to open up the Google Maps. We're going to show you where everything's located, how quick it is to get to things, and we're going to jump after it right now. Here's an article that I saw the other day, and it was talking about the population growth that's going on in the Flagler County area, specifically what's going on in Palm Coast. Palm Coast population is now at almost 100,000 people. Yeah, it's the 18th fastest growing city in the United States. So again, a lot of people are coming to Palm Coast. So we get a lot of people calling us saying, hey, I want to live in Jacksonville. I think I want to be there. They start in Jacksonville. Then they go a little bit further south because they figure that, Jacksonville is not quite my cup of tea. I want something a little bit slower pace of life. So they go down to St. Augustine. And so St. Augustine is a great town, great area. But for some folks, what they're finding is that they love St. Augustine, but they're getting priced out. So they go a little bit further south and they get down to Palm Coast and they find that, my goodness, this is a great place to be. So many cool things. It's a great feel, and the pace of life is very much a slower pace of life. Kind of that small beachy town, beachy feel that you like. Even though, again, we're growing, it's growing quite fast. It still has that small town, quaint feel to it. So again, Palm Coast, one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. And again, we're going to go into some of the things that you're going to find here in Palm Coast. All right. So the distance from Palm Coast to Jacksonville, which again, a lot of times people are coming in looking at Jacksonville, deciding to move a little bit further south. It's about an hour and 10 minutes, about 55 miles. It's about 55 miles away. The interesting thing is that a lot of people in Palm Coast will use the Jacksonville International Airport. So that's one option for them. Jacksonville International Airport is located right here on my screen, is right in this area, and the distance down to Palm Coast, that takes you right about, an hour and 20, hour and 25 minutes to get there. One other option that you have in Palm Coast is to go down to Daytona. Now, Daytona is only about 20 minutes, less than 20 miles away. And they're going to go to the Daytona International Airport. And let me draw where that's at. So just south, right down in this area is where the Daytona International Airport is. So that's another option if you're living in Palm Coast and you want to have another quicker airport to get to. One of the other options that you have is to go to the Orlando International Airport if you're living in Palm Coast. So as you can see right here on the map, it's about an hour and 30 minutes. It's about 99 miles. Takes you right down 95, cut over on I-4. And then you do a little bypass around the city. So you can get a good sense for how long that's going to take you. Again, whether you're flying out of Jacksonville, you're flying out of Orlando, or you're flying out of Daytona, they're all pretty convenient. Lots of options. The other thing that you end up with is it gives you lots of opportunities to go shopping in different areas. Now, one of the things that we find is that a lot of the people in Palm Coast will either go down just south in Daytona to like the outlet malls. There's quite a few outlet malls just south as you're getting into Daytona. So one of the best things about Palm Coast is that you have the mom and pop shops. It's not an overly commercialized area. But if you want to go do major shopping, so you want to get to the Apple store, you want to go to like Neiman Marcus, you want to get to Macy's, you want to get to some of those bigger retailers, then what you're going to do is you're going to go right from Palm Coast and right up 95, and you are going to end up at the St. John's Town Center, which is right in this area here. That's probably about an hour, maybe 45 minutes at the most. But that's big shopping, right? So that's, going to one of the big town centers. People aren't having to make that drive very often. Most of what they need on a day-to-day basis is going to be right in Palm Coast. Like I say, plenty of mom and pop shops that you've got right there. All right, so one of the things I want you to notice right here in Palm Coast, and you could see the outline in red showing you exactly where the city of Palm Coast is. This is all around in this area. Let me highlight this a little bit more for you, just so we can see that. And so this is all considered Palm Coast. And one of the things that I want you to take a look at as we zoom in a little bit here is that all the waterways that are in and around the Palm Coast area, it's almost like its own little, it's a little Venice. And so one of the things that we found in our blog tour, again, you can see that here, is we did a driving tour right around Palm Coast. We also did a drone tour, so you can get a sense for what those waterways look like. And we'll show some of that, throughout the video here. You'll see some of what those waterways look like. But it's a very cool feel. And so you actually can dock in your backyard and just go to neighbor's house up and down the intercoastal, but also along the canals and the waterways all throughout Palm Coast itself. There's a whole lifestyle that's built there. There are restaurants, there are just different places that you can go and hang out going up and down the intercoastal. Hey, if you're finding this video helpful, do me a favor. There are a lot of people that are considering Palm Coast. I want to make sure that they see this as well. So if you would click on the like button, that way people have the best opportunity to see this so they can see what's going on in Palm Coast for themselves. So again, I normally don't try to ask you guys to do too much, but if you could, do me a favor, click on that like button. So again, people will get notified. So one of the great places that people absolutely love to come to Palm Coast for, and it was one of the destinations that started getting people coming to Palm Coast, was the Hammock Beach Golf and Resort. And in our blog tour, we actually did a quick little video over there. So you'll probably see that spinning in the background here. Where that's located on the map is just east of the intercoastal, and it is right here. So whether you want to invite some friends, come down, and make it a nice little resort trip. They've got so many restaurants and shops right within the resort itself, a big lazy river, so lots to do. But again, it's one of those anchor places. It's one of the destination places that people want to come to Palm Coast for. The other thing is that we get a lot of customers that are wanting to purchase in there because there are Airbnbs. There's lots of, even though it looks like a hotel, it's set up as a bunch of condominiums, and we call them condo hotels. So they have on-site management that's right there. So if you're looking to get in the Airbnb game, that is a great place to go. Those things rent out on a regular basis, and they make it super simple to just put it right within their program. They'll manage everything for you, but a great opportunity if Airbnbs are something that you either want to go and stay at or you want to start to invest in. Hammock Beach Resort is a great place to do it. Lots of amenities, and again, a great destination place for people coming to Palm Coast. One of the things that you're going to find in Palm Coast, again, it's not an overly big land city, so there's only a couple of roads going in and out. The major thoroughfare, when people say, I'm in Palm Coast, I want to get to the beach, what's the quickest way to the beach? So getting to the beach, super simple. It only takes you about 5-10 minutes. Doesn't matter where you're at in Palm Coast, you're only about 5-10 minutes away from the beach. One of the things that you'll see right here is that there's a tendency, even though it's not very far, and most times of the day there's not a whole lot of traffic that's going on, but right here crossing the intercoastal waterway, there is a toll bridge. So if you're a resident, you're just going right through. It doesn't really slow you down. If you're a non-resident, you're having to stop at the toll center, pay your toll, and then go across. But that's really the only hiccup and really the only backup that you'll get is right in here. And then sometimes you'll have, because there are more commercial establishments and restaurants right along Palm Coast Parkway, you'll see a little bit of a backup, but traffic is not bad at all. It's real quick, easy in and out to get to most everything that you'd want to do. So one of the other things that people will come to the Palm Coast area for is they come to Marineland. Now, Marineland is kind of located just between St. Augustine and just north of Palm Coast. It is one of those destination areas. So Marineland is right here. It's right along the Intracoastal Waterway. And what they do there is they actually have the different dolphin exhibits. You can actually go and swim with the dolphins. You can pet the dolphins. And it's a pretty cool place historically because some of the first films that were ever done with underwater cameras were done right there in Marineland. So at one point, Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Palm Coast, that was going to be the Hollywood of the East Coast because they had all this camera equipment. They had the ocean right there. So any of the movies that we're going to have, any sort of water scenes, were going to be filmed right there at Marineland because they had all the equipment. Unfortunately, that didn't quite pan out that way. Fortunately for us, it stayed a very small town, and we get all the benefits of having that little bit of history, but having all the dolphin exhibits and stuff like that have remained over the years. So it's a great place to go and spend some time if you're wanting to kill some time for the day, don't want to be on the beach. Go enjoy Marineland. It's a great place to be. So one of the things that you'll see right here on the map is that lots of different state parks. So we've got historical areas. We have different places that you can go into and bike and have different trails. All of that's within 5 minutes, 7 minutes of Palm Coast. And that's right up here just north of the city, just north of downtown, right along A1A. You got Washington Oaks Gardens and then the Rocks Washington Oaks State Park. You've also got the Matanzas State Park, which is just north of there. And then one of my favorite places is right here at Bing's Landing. One of those destinations that as you're going up and down the Intercoastal Waterway, you can park right there. Beautiful park, walk the dogs, and just have a nice relaxing afternoon. And they have an amazing barbecue place that's right there. Captain's Barbecue, great place. Got to go visit that. Got some of the best barbecue here in the Palm Coast area. So one of the huge draws for the Palm Coast area are the golf courses. So some of the major courses that you have there are the Hammock Beach Resort Club, which is the ocean course. You also have the Conservatory. Some of the private clubs that you have there are like Hammock Dunes. Hammock Dunes has 2 of its own golf courses as well. So plenty of opportunities for you to get out on the golf course, public courses, private courses, resort courses, plenty of golf. They're all within 5-10 minutes. Again, Palm Coast is not an overly big area. Just pick one of the places that, pick one of the courses that fits your budget. Go out, have a good time. Weather's always going to be pretty good. It's right close to the ocean, so you're going to get that ocean sea breeze. Makes the golf a little bit more difficult, a little more challenging, but still fun nonetheless. A couple of restaurants that I did want to highlight here in the video itself. Some of my favorites right here at the Hammock Beach Resort. Inside of there, they have the Atlantic Grill. And even though that is a resort, the Atlantic Grill is open to the public, so you can go up, have an amazing meal. It's right there on the ocean, so you can have your meal, walk out, walk along the beach, enjoy yourself. Great seafood, great burgers that are there. So highly recommend you going to the Atlantic Grill there. All right, so again, one of my favorite places to go to, and we mentioned it in all the other videos, the pros and cons of Orange Park, pros and cons Jacksonville, pros and cons St. Augustine, the map tours of each of those cities. You can see those videos right along in here. One of the great things is I love the Metro Diner. It is breakfast food all day long. I'm a big breakfast fan. One of their favorite meals, if you do get a chance to go there, one of my favorite meals is their croissant French toast. It is absolutely amazing. It is my go-to meal there. Some folks, they absolutely love the fried chicken and waffles. Those are amazing as well. But my comfort food is to always go back to the croissant French toast. Hope you enjoy that. I don't get a paid sponsorship for Metro. I probably should reach out to them because I am always plugging them in my videos. So if you guys can help me out, maybe they'll give me some sort of ad revenue. So, just kidding. So as we stated in the first part of the video, that Palm Coast is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, 18th fastest growing city. And one of the things that you're going to notice is that even though the Palm Coast area is kind of small right in this area, there's lots of green space. There are lots of chances for the city to continue to expand. And it'll be interesting to see if it keeps that Palm Coast address. But as people come into Palm Coast and they're looking for more housing, there's plenty of green space, plenty of growth that's happening, and that growth is happening right out in this area. A lot of that growth is happening right along this area right here along US 1 going up into St. Augustine. So you can see that all this green space up in here is now starting to fill in all sorts of brand new neighborhoods, brand new construction, all up and down US 1. 55 plus communities, normal housing communities for everyone. But again, a lot of growth between Palm Coast and St. Augustine. And again, it's just where people are wanting to be. They're wanting to be St. Augustine. They're wanting to be Palm Coast. And again, we've got plenty of growth, plenty of green space for that growth to allow more homes to come in and more people to take advantage of what we've got going on here in Palm Coast. All right, so one of the things I wanted to kind of bring to your attention, one of the places that I love going to is niche.com. You can put in a zip code, you can put in a city. It'll start to give you a little bit of the good, the bad, the ugly of what's going on in that area. Palm Coast overall, they have rated as a B+ area. St. Augustine, I believe, was an A-. So that Palm Coast area, again, is a very highly desirable place to be. Public schools, they've got rated as a B+. Housing, B-, nightlife, a B. Now, we talked a little bit in the pros and cons of Palm Coast is that there isn't a whole lot of nightlife going on, and niche.com actually brought that up. Now, population, this has not been updated recently. Palm Coast is now at almost 100,000 people, so 98,000. And the median home value right in the Palm Coast area, 238,000. So one of the things that I wanted to do is just kind of show you on the map, where are all the houses located? There's commercial up and down the Palm Coast Parkway and scattered throughout the US 1, A1A, but where are the houses located? And as you see right here on the map, you can get a good sense for where all the housing is. Now, for us, the rule of thumb is 95 is the dividing line. Anything that is west of 95 tends to have you get a lot more house for your money. As you cross over 95, it gets a lot more expensive, and you start to get into more of the upscale, more expensive neighborhoods. Now, if I go back into my list here, you can see that depending on what you're looking for, this must be an auction house because this looks crazy. 2,179 square foot on a condo for only 160,000. I may have to research that. That may be a great opportunity to buy. But on the average right now, 184,000 for a 1,000 square foot condominium, 199,000. And so you can see price points starting at 159 and going all the way up to, let's just go, what's the most expensive house? Wow, almost $6 million, 7,800 square feet. So if you were coming from New York or New Jersey or California, Washington State, you're coming from some of those major metros, to get an almost 8,000 square foot home within, a couple of blocks of the beach, you're probably paying 10 million, 8 million, somewhere around in there. So for 6 million, that is a great deal. Actually, I want to pull that up. Let's actually take a look at this. Wow, that is a direct ocean front. Look at this home. 2-car garage, looks like it's pretty new, direct walk out to the ocean. Block built construction, zone private gateway. This is a beautiful home. Is that a wine cellar? Wow. Very modern inside. Yep, there's your wine cellar. I can't wait to see what the view looks like. So upgraded kitchen. Wow, that's a fantastic. That's an upgraded gourmet kitchen. Wide open. Look at that view. And I'm sure we're getting to the view. So right outside your kitchen, you've got views of the ocean. You've got it from your living area. This is absolutely gorgeous. And if you like outdoor entertaining, everything's built in. You got your pool and hot tub. And look at these views. Your own private walk going down. That is amazing. So as you can see, Palm Coast has lots to offer. We're here to help out. If you'd like to know more information, get more information, maybe even look at some of the homes that are available in Palm Coast, do me a favor, reach out to us, give us a call, send us a text, send us an email, book a private Zoom call. All of our contact information is at the bottom of the screen and right in the comments section. And we look forward to seeing you on the next video. God bless and have a great day.